Hello everyone! Today I decided to do a review on the new event weapon, the Luxurious Sea Lord. I realize I'm kind of late on this, but I figured this kind of video would kind of fit the theme of my channel. So here I am doing it anyway, and first I get the obvious thing out of the way, on which characters the increased elemental burst damage is useful, and later I talk about how it compares as just a stat stick on different characters. With that being said, let's get started. Now let's have a look at all the Claymore characters currently available in-game. The thing that sets the Luxury Sea Lord apart from other weapons is obviously the unique effect to increase the elemental burst damage of the character wielding it. There are obviously some characters whose playstyle is primarily centered around their elemental burst skill, and on these characters it's obviously pretty good. The characters in question are Eula, Beidou and Chongyun. And then you have characters that scale off attack as well, but if you look at their damage breakdown, it's not all about the elemental burst skill. So on these characters, it's usually just fine to use the Luxurious Sea Lord, but there are better options as well. Characters like these are Diluc, for example, and Razor. And then there are some characters that you generally want to avoid using this weapon on. Obviously you have characters like Noelle and Xinyan. They have defense scaling in their kit, and it's a little awkward to use a weapon that has very high attack percentage substats. And you obviously have Sayu. Her multipliers on her elemental burst skill are kind of low, so you probably want to take her down the route to go all in on stacking elemental mastery and primarily focus on dealing damage with a swirl. So whenever a good elemental mastery substat greatsword comes out, she will probably use this. Until now, she probably uses an energy recharge greatsword. And now I will show some side-by-side gameplay of the more popular 4-star weapon options on different characters. And you will see that the difference isn't all that noticeable, especially on a character like Razor, who doesn't make a whole lot of use of the Luxurious Sea Lord's elemental burst damage increase. And even on a character like Eula, for example, you will see a small damage increase in the elemental burst damage explosion, but in the grand scheme of things it isn't a whole lot. But if you're interested in a little bit of min-maxing, I get into some theoretical stuff right now. And now that we're done talking about the effect, let's talk about stats. This weapon actually, even for a 4-star weapon, has incredibly low base attack at 454, and in return it has a decently high attack percentage at 55%. If you compare it to the prototype Archaic, for example, it's basically the exact opposite. It has 565 base attack and 27% attack. If you don't really know how attack works and are wondering why this matters, I try to give a really brief explanation. If you go to your character screen, you see the total attack of a character right here. For Razor, it's 1853 right now. If you click on details, you see the attack broken up into two values. The white number on the left, the 645, is the base attack of a character. It consists of the character's base attack and the weapon's base attack. And on the right in green, it's the attack bonus. It consists of some flat stats. For example, if you go to this artifact, it has 29 attack, and even the feather's main attack, the 311. If I were to remove this, for example, we go from 1.2k attack bonus to 781. So these are obviously just additive, so it's not a big deal. What we care about are the attack percentage stats, because these scale directly off your base attack. If you have around 600 base attack, for example, and 100% attack percentage, you obviously get another 600 attack. If this base attack number is higher, for example at 900, the 100% attack is obviously a lot more valuable, because instead of 600 you will now get 900 bonus attack. And this is important because 4-star characters by nature have unfortunately way lower base stats than 5-star characters, which means the attack percentage stat is a little less valuable on them. So we have this weapon equipped right now and we have 1850 attack roughly. If we switch to, for example, this weapon with higher base attack, we have less attack percentage, but we still go up in attack because the higher base attack is just more valuable. Now let's have a look at Eula, a 5-star character with very high base attack. Remember, Razor had 645, she has nearly 800 with the Luxurious Sea Lord, which is obviously a lot more valuable if you stack attack percentage. And as you see, she ends up at 2163 attack overall. So if you were to switch to a weapon with higher base attack and no attack percentage like the Snow-Tombed Star Silver, unfortunately I don't have the prototype Archaearch leveled up on this account, it's obviously less noticeable on Razor, but if you look at a 5-star character with high base stats, you actually go down from 2.1k attack to 1900. So the lesson to be learned from this is, if you have a 5-star character, attack percentage is a lot more valuable because you have higher stats overall. And if you have a 4-star character like Razor, you obviously need to make up for the low base stats, so you probably want a weapon like the prototype Archaearch with high base stats. So is this a weapon worth leveling up? I think yes, it absolutely is, because even though there aren't a whole lot of characters that can make great use of it right now, I still think generally it's a good weapon, and once they release another character like Eula, you already have a great option for them. And with this, we made it to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. Stay tuned for more guides in the future. Until then, have fun in Teyvat and bye bye.